Hello rat bags, it's Jade with another open world news video today, taking a look at all that's going on in the last few days. Bunch of new information. Mafia 1, a brand new gameplay video has been put up in the last couple of hours, showcasing how it's actually running right now. Remember, the remaster is meant to be coming out in September with no more delays, so let's give you some thoughts and opinions about that. We've also got a developer commentary on that video, so we'll share all these links in the comment section. Also, what's going on with Fable 4? Yes, the rumour mill is still building towards a reveal tomorrow at the Xbox Games event. We're also going to see a bunch of other stuff. I'm really interested in Everwild and possibly a new RPG from Obsidian, the makers of the Outer Worlds. All that plus some more info about what's going on with Dying Light, their hellarid DLC, another delay for that. Some more screenshots or artwork from Cyberpunk 2077 and the rest of the world, not just Night City, and Ubisoft. They've had a terrible week, maybe trying to save a little bit of face today with the announcement that their next gen games are going to be the same price as the current gen games at the moment anyway. Also the revelations that they didn't want a female as a lead in their previous games, hence why there's always been a choice. They just really were toxic about it. What's going on with that, and what's going on with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, how you're going to be able to change between the genders at any time. And we're going to be taking a brief look at Ghost of Tsushima developer Sucker Punch and the game that never was, Prophecy, a cancelled open world third person game that has never seen the light of day. So for the best in open world survival game news and RPGs, make sure you've got notifications turned on. It's all here, let's go, it's the Open World Show. So, Fable 4, it's a thing, like everything's just been pointing towards it. There's been rumours over the last couple of years, lots of little leaks here and there. They put Fable 4 on the Mixer directory, that's closing down now. They had big announcements about hiring new staff for their rumoured developer Playground Games. They're the guys that made Forza Horizon series, and they've hired like 200 people, a brand new office. There's been lots of other information and leaks talking about how the gameplay will play out, how it's based on a future king that decides to choose his power of the Spire to basically destroy Albion, and it's your job to go back in time, cross multiple planets and try and put Albion back together. More industry insiders are pointing to tomorrow, and I guess this gets thrown about at every Xbox event, but it does look likely tomorrow we're going to see some sort of tease, some sort of reveal. Some people are expecting some sort of in-game trailer, engine trailer or some rubbish. I'm probably just going to see some tiny little bit of info. I don't think we're going to see like a full 20-minute gameplay like you expect with maybe Halo Infinite. But either way, I'm super excited. I will be streaming the event. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions, or for sure I will do a recap video straight afterwards. But it's not only that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Rare's brand new project that they've got going on, Everwild. I think we can say it now safely, Sea of Thieves is a pretty decent game. It's had a year and a half of content, maybe a little bit longer. Loads of people have really come to love the game. Despite all its problems, despite how little content it had, a lot of people are happy with it. And Steam, lots of players are enjoying the gameplay. It's breathed new life into it once more as well. So what's their next project? Everwild. This kind of got announced last November at the X event, and since then we've not heard much, as you would kind of expect. They've still been focusing on Sea of Thieves, so this is definitely going to be on the next console. But obviously Microsoft, all their first party games will be available on the Xbox One base game system as well. So yeah, it's very interesting. Looks like it's going to be co-op again with the multiple characters there. Looks like you will be able to come across wildlife and possibly worry about getting attacked by giant massive cave tigers. The art style was very different. I really like it. I think it's gorgeous. There's a game called Spellbreak recently that looks a bit similar though, like the hooded protagonist and stuff like that. But yeah, very colourful, very bright. So it's not going to be some just cozy exploration game. It does look like there's going to be a bit of combat in it too. So hopefully we're going to see some more info about that as well. Also going to be a big day for Obsidian. They've got a bunch of stuff going on at the moment. There's rumours that we might see an Outer Worlds tease for their next DLC. Obviously we've got Grounded, the open world survival game, co-op game that's coming out in early access in just a few days as well on Steam and on Xbox. And apparently a RPG that is very similar to Skyrim. We may see some sort of tease for this as well. Again, not expecting this stuff to drop in the next 6 months. A lot of this stuff won't see for a long time, but certainly this looks pretty exciting. They've put about 100 people onto this brand new game, and it's been worked on for a while, maybe before even they were bought out by Microsoft. So loads of good stuff. I mean, they need it. Microsoft needs some decent first party games. They can't just rely on people choosing Games Pass as a good reason to, play their consoles. They need some first party offerings. They've totally lost the last generation, and they really haven't been dominating since maybe the Xbox 360 days. So yeah, anything that requires that, getting some good developers. We know Obsidian are great, so hopefully they will have just as much quality as Outer Worlds. And I'm looking really forward to Grounded as well, and yeah, whatever's going on with the DLC for the Outer Worlds in the future too. Another source of info about the Fable, Colobriel, an insider that's been pretty bang on it with the Xbox reveals, has said that we will see some brand new footage or a tease of their brand new RPG. The event starts at 5 PM UK time, 12 PM Eastern, and maybe 10 AM Western US Seaboard time. I'm hoping to stream it or co-stream it. You guys come and join me, and we'll talk rubbish while we're waiting for these great reveals. Apparently there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff revealed though, so exciting times. Cyberpunk 2077 have posted more screenshots of artwork for the game, and it's looking absolutely amazing. The open world around Night City is looking just as involved. Big huge oil fields, lots of smog, and maybe coming across some cyberpunk hillbillies. Obviously we're a few months away now, and I'm not expecting any more delays, although there are a few people trying to say they may delay it one more time, but I really don't think so. I think we are going to see the full release very soon. But yeah, super excited about Cyberpunk. Also doing the rounds in the last couple of days is the fact that you can clear the main campaign by not clearing the main campaign. They're saying that they've got a new system with the side quests. They took on feedback saying that The Witcher 3 was too long, but they enjoyed a lot of the side quests. So now they're saying that there could be specific points where you can complete side quests and it will really affect the ending of the game. That may not be too revolutionary, but the way they're wording it, they're trying to come across as, it's something pretty different. But yeah, supposedly, if you order the right side missions in the right way, you may not see some of the main beats. It really can affect it that much. And we know that depending on what type of character you choose at the beginning, it may affect your backstory and possibly some interactions and missions with characters in the future, like Jackie, one of the main reasons there. But yeah, they've also just said that they have really dialed down a little bit the main quest stuff a little bit more, and I want to make sure the side quests are pumped up, and it's got lots of good stuff in it, as much as it had for The Witcher. The latest interview does go into depth as well, talking about how different some of the playthroughs will be. Some players won't experience certain stuff because they've not hit certain markers for side missions or certain parts of the game yet. And so it's always going to be a different playthrough for everyone. I really like the idea of that one. Obviously based on the board game of Cyberpunk 2077, which is like a role-playing game where it really can be different. And I love that aspect where games have got lots of replayability. Even so, big games like these, lots of fans will love to keep just revisiting and see what type of outcome they get next. So one franchise I've never really delved into was Yakuza. I mean, it looked fun enough, it looked interesting, a bit bonkers. Well, they've just announced their new game that's coming out, I do believe, in November. It's going to be available on Xbox, PlayStation, and looks like you're going to be able to choose multiple characters at certain portions in the game. At first, I thought it might be even co-op. It could be, I don't know. You guys let me know. Like I said, I'm not a big, huge fan of these, but maybe it's about time I delve deep into the Yakuza series and see what's going on. Like a Dragon coming out in November. Alright, you may have heard of this, you may have not, but Ubisoft are having a bit of a bad time. Despite their Ubi Forward conference a little while ago, there was huge stories coming out talking about the abuse that staff have suffered from executives over a huge span of years. Now them executives, some of them have resigned, but lots of anger that they're not taking more steps. Ubisoft have got an outside team looking into it, they're promising changes. Is that enough? Maybe not at the moment. There's still lots of reports coming out. The biggest ones lately are that women don't sell video games, and that the leads for lots of their previous games were meant to be women, but at the last moment or a considerable amount of work has gone into making it that there is a male protagonist taking over most of it, like in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, or there will be a choice at least, like we saw in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where clearly it looked like Cassandra was meant to be the main focus, as reportedly she's the more interesting one. Even Assassin's Creed Origins, it was meant to be the wife as the main character rather than the male protagonist. So yeah, women don't sell. Tell that to Horizon Zero Dawn, tell that to some of the Resident Evil series where it's had women as the main guys. main guys. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not a good look for Ubisoft. Just another week of bad stuff for them. The latest thing, of course, though, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You can change your character at any time. I told you guys about this. Well, this is pretty much how it works. There's no changing up of your abilities. It's not going to affect your upgrades. You simply go into it and you choose your DNA strand. Fingers crossed Ubisoft do really move forward from this lot and we can just focus on the games. As said, Jason Schreier from, obviously, Bloomberg now, not Kotaku, broke that sort of info about what was going on, and he's broken the brand new info as well that they're keeping the same price. Now, that might not seem as too much of a shock. Pre-orders have been live. We knew you could buy the bulk of the Ubisoft games that are meant to be coming out, like Valhalla, as they would probably have like some sort of smart delivery system and it wouldn't cost anything, but they are indeed going to be the same price. So if you skip buying it all together on a PS4 or an Xbox One, either Valhalla or Watch Dogs Legion, you'll be able to buy the next gen versions at the same price. And that's good news considering MBK 27 MBK 2021 is going to be like $10 more expensive if you buy it on the next gen. Just going through some of these other tweets as well, that lead bonuses for the team leads pretty much will be there only if they've created an inclusive environment. That's what Ubisoft have set out today as well during their earnings call. So yeah, lots of good stuff. Hopefully it means good change. And hopefully, as I said, we can talk about the positive side of Ubisoft and their games rather than this negative stuff. So VG247 had a leak about a brand new game that we'll never ever see. It was called Prophecy and it's made by Sucker Punch, and it was something they were working on before or maybe during Ghost of Tsushima development. Now this has been spread because an artist that worked on the game has pretty much added it as part of his portfolio, and the gameplay has been all over the place. Now it's been pulled quite a bit. I don't want to show too much of this in case I get a copyright strike, but yeah, there are links where you can go download it. I'll include them in the comment section down below. It looks really cool. You've got this main dude with a knife and a sword, although it looks more like you'll be using alchemy and other sort of powers in a post-apocalyptic sort of Mad Max style world. Lots of guys in hoods, lots of stealth, lots of running about, climbing over like gangways and taking opponents on. It really doesn't look that far-fetched to be a completed game. I mean, I know it's probably only a vertical slice and there'll obviously be a lot more to add, but obviously the world is much more built up than Ghost of Tsushima, and I like this, that enemies can actually trip you up. Now the combat with the samurai-looking enemies does really start to mirror Ghost of Tsushima, so clearly they took them systems over and put it to work on their next big game, which was obviously Ghosts rather than Prophecy. But yeah, interesting, who knows, maybe we'll see a revisit this one day. It seems like Sucker Punch really struggled with Ghost of Tsushima. They spent a long time working on it and they spent a long time trying to get it absolutely right. I'm glad they have. The reviews are great. I'm loving the game, so go and check out some of my guides and tutorials I've been doing over the last week or so. So Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, of course, is coming out in September the 8th, I do believe, and we've got some more info about the prices and stuff, and maybe I just missed this, but it's only going to be $40, so like £34. That's pretty good for a remaster. You know, some companies would probably charge full price for this, more or less, and it has got all the DLC. That's going to be coming with the game as well. But some more information too. It's going to support a boosted resolution system for Xbox X and PS4 Pro. No photo mode though, and there's going to be no modding support for PC, although they are looking into ways that you'll be able to transfer your save data on PC with a converter. I pulled a bunch of this info blatantly from their Discord, so go and check it out if you want some more FAQs talking about what's going to happen. But yeah, looking forward to this one. I'm going to give it a try, and obviously they've got the DLC version that's going to have the fresh DLC coming 2021, the Forsworn, and that's, or Forsaken, something like that, and that's going to be an extra sort of $12, $15 on top. So yeah, good stuff. So Dying Light 1 DLC is still a thing. Yep, Hellarid was meant to be coming out on 23rd. It's been delayed again. It's not going to be coming out until August now because of issues with the beta they just had. Lots of people complaining that there were too many bugs. Other people complaining that there wasn't enough content and that it was just a really lazy reskin of Dying Light, but in a medieval setting. Now, apparently, Hellarid was a game they were working on separately. It was going to be a new venture, and they just kind of ended up cancelling it and reshaping it and putting it into Dying Light. I don't mind that. I think they've done pretty good, the company. Techland have produced a bunch of free updates for the game, support this game for years now, but I think people are just getting a bit fed up. They want to see the next generation. They want to see Dying Light 2. We saw the demo, obviously, obviously a while ago, and now we just want a release date that actually sticks. But that's probably not looking likely. Don't expect Dying Light 2 until next year. I'm predicting probably maybe not even until next spring or summer. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date, and I will be trying out hellarid DLC when it comes out. The latest World War Z update adds a brand new class, the drone class, and it's got crossplay at last between Xbox, PlayStation and the Epic Games Store, so you'll be able to pile up with all your friends for some zombie shooting co-op fun. I love this game, I thought it was great when it came out. I covered it in pre-release, giving news and information about it, as I thought it'd be more of a bit of a survival game, but it turns out it's just a decent co-op shooter. But yeah, the drone masterclass is pretty good. Looks like it's going to be more of a bodyguard sort of style drone. Obviously, you're not going to have too much time being stealthy and sending your drone out here and there. Looks like it's going to just kind of follow you around and shoot any zombies that get a little bit too close. But yeah, all good. It's live today, the update. Loads of other fixes, loads of other improvements. Go and check it out, World War Z. I'll be streaming this very soon. I think we'll give this a go with some rat bags. Now it's crossplay, even more reason to play it with you guys. So yeah, look out for that in the future. So as I kicked off, Mafia has obviously got some brand new gameplay of the remaster in action, proper action, not some trailer, actual proper gameplay, a good sort of 15-20 minutes nearly. It's got a voiceover by the lead designer, I think, or one of the devs, and it looks alright, it looks okay. Like, I mean, it is a remaster of a very old game, so I wasn't expecting huge things, but yeah, the light looks great, the weather here looks amazing. The UI, very simple, keeping it bare bones basic, pretty much putting the combat system from Mafia 3 back into the original game, so it's going to be more of a co-op based shooter game. The devs also spoke about why they didn't do it from the ground up remaster of number 2, which did receive quite a bit of negativity. People deemed it a bit lazy that it only put like a 4K resolution and only a few tweaks here and there, with the bulk of the gameplay being more or less the same. But the devs just said that it just wasn't in their interest, it would just take too much work, and they felt like on a high-end PC, Mafia 2 actually still stood up. I think it's September the 25th, this will be coming out. I think I'm going to give this a go. I wasn't really a Mafia boy, I was into Driver, that was my series, even not really liking GTA as much, definitely Driver. But yeah, this looks pretty cool, I'm going to give this a go, I want to be a gangster. And there we go guys, I'll be back as I said with either a recap or hoping to go live, so make sure you got me locked on tomorrow for the Xbox reveal, and hopefully we'll get loads of information about Fable 4, Everwild, and of course all the other good stuff that's going on, maybe that RPG from Obsidian. Let me know what you're more excited for. As ever, I'll be back, the home of survival, and hopefully soon the home of open world news. Until next time, rat bags, laters.